Do you guys hear that? I don't know if you hear that, but I hear something. Guess what it is? The bulls are coming, man. The bulls are coming. The bulls are coming. The bulls are here now. Bitcoin has broken past a resistance level that we've been watching for the past couple of days. 11,500. Let us go ahead and dive into this live stream. My name is Naeem Al-Obeidi. Welcome to Sniper's Tube. If you can't tell already, I'm pretty excited. By the way, Ripple also had a little bit of a breakout due to the Coinbase rumors that have been spreading throughout. But the focus today is going to be Bitcoin. Why? Because it's going to control the overall market. It's going to control the altcoins movements. And that's really where we want to hone in and put our eyes and set it on where the heck Bitcoin is going to start heading. Because this is where we're going to make the majority of our trades, making the majority of our profits. Looking at our chart now, this is our trading view chart. If you're new here on Sniper's Tube, the link is in the description below. It's a free chart. We're going to be teaching and educating and entertaining today. I have an awesome story to share with y'all. If you guys want to make your chart look like mine, right click it, insert indicator, and screenshot this. We're going to be using the volume, 3 moving averages, RSI, MACD, and today we're going to be using the Bollinger Bands just so we can have a little bit of an idea of where Bitcoin is headed in terms of its cross path within this flag pattern. We're going to draw that out right now. If you guys don't know what a flag pattern is, we do have a free resource. The link is in the description below. That is our Discord. By the way, we got BitGuyan here, Crypto Signature, David Hooker in the house. So this is our Discord right over here. This is how the flag pattern looks. For those of you that are new here on Sniper's Tube, go to Trading Patterns on the Discord, and then bam, that is the flag pattern. And we are now on this breakout, and we're going to talk about what the magnitude could potentially be. But remember, you can never determine magnitude. You can always determine price movement. So that is a very big rule of trading, and you can now see as well, volume here in Bitcoin is not even that high, and we're seeing this run up. So what does that mean when the volume does come flowing in, when people get their income taxes, when people are taking money out of the stock market and hedging it against it with this asset class that's limited in value, just like gold is? And that's traditionally where you'll see money go in the stock market. It typically goes to gold, right? Now we have the cryptocurrency market that is going to be present during a possible stock market crash, which 7 to 10 years, Riadalo says it, every 7 to 10 years there's a market cycle, there's a crash. By the way, LaCroix in the house. If you guys are getting our trade signals, and if you're not, link is in the description below. We have a subscription service. I do want to make this announcement for those of you. We have 2 breakouts that have currently occurred. EXP has broken out. Make sure to take your profits. The trade signal buy zone was 301 to 303, and if you guys pull up our interactive chart, I just want all of you to know, a lot of you are getting our trade signals. This has broken out. If you can see the buy zone that we actually set it upon, it instantly broke out right into that take profit zone. I think that was right around 6 to 8% profit. Not much, but it was something. And then the Bitcoin trade alert that we had is also heading outside of the buy zone that we set in place, which was 11,600. Now I'm sharing this with you guys because I need you guys to understand that it's not always going to be a good opportunity to get into Bitcoin, but right now it is. So you can see if we play this, we are now about to step out of this buy zone. So for those of you getting our trade signals on our subscription service where we actually post buy and sell points for all of you so that you can know exactly when to get in and out to make those profits. For those of you that are at work, you have kids, you're busy, the link is in the description if you guys want to get onto that. Anyways, let's pull up this flag here. Let's go ahead and redraw on this graph. I'd like to start with a fresh graph because it helps the new people. I'm really here to help the newest trader because at the end of the day, we're going to have tons of people coming from the stock market, tons of people like me that have traded traditional markets in the past, but the focus, it's like a church, right? You focus on the new people because the new people are gonna make the church thrive, right? Not to get religious, I'm just saying it's a church, it's a business, right? Everything's a business in life because you need money to make an impact. So let's look at this chart. Let's see what's happening. Who do we got on? Emma Rose in the house. Naeem can hear but no see. Oh my gosh. Somebody says, Naeem, great to see you, bro. Ready for some of that great insight? Well, thank you. I am humbled. All I do is give my 2 cents. I don't really, I guess, great insight. I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. I am humbled by that. I have traded for a very long time. My eyes have been almost strunkened by all of these charts I've actually been watching for my whole life. I got 3 screens in front of me right now, actually, so that's not always fun. But anyways, I am here to teach. I'm here to help. emenk1 said, I can finally see a stream on YouTube. Shout out to emenk1. Wow, that's opposing to what most people say in the Eastern Coast. We're like, man, why are you coming on at 3 a.m., man? I gotta wake up just to see you. Christopher said, what's up, what's up, what's up? Good to see you, guys. Somebody says, can't see you. What do you mean you can't see you? You don't see me? I'm right here. I am right here in front of y'all. If you don't see me, then I don't know what you're looking at. I think everything is fine. Nothing's wrong with the stream, right? Somebody says, do you check Periscope chat? Yes, I do, RG. Of course I do, brother. I look at every chat, man. I don't leave no one behind. So this is the flag pattern here, and I just want to do a little bit of a quick technical analysis here so you guys have an understanding of what we're watching, what we're seeing here. And if you look at this, we have now broken off of the flag, obviously. We all know that, but let's go ahead and zoom into a 1-hour chart to get a little bit of a better view about what's going on here. You can see this Bollinger Band. We're right at the top. If you guys don't know how to use the Bollinger Band, the best way to put it is it's almost like a pathway or a tunnel, and that tunnel is either going to have a top or a bottom, and within that tunnel is where you can determine whether or not the actual overall trend is at a low or a high point. So you can see, obviously, right now we're at a high point. We had this initial breakout. At this point, if you're watching the Bollinger Bands, you could have predicted that, hey, we were pretty low. We were going to see a little bit of a strike up. So the Bollinger Bands is a cool indicator to utilize, especially when you're looking at an overall trend. Now, looking at this right now, you can see we do have an ascending support line forming here, and that is a continuing ascending support. And what is interesting is at first we had this right here ascending, but we have now diverted and pivoted just a little bit, but we are still on the way up, which is interesting and exciting. Now we're at 11,500. Where are we going to be heading? Definitely towards 12. And 12 is not going to be that big of a big even to break through, in my opinion. I think we'll definitely have the ability to break right through 12. Matter of fact, I think that we're going to have price levels, at least within the next couple of weeks, heading towards the $15,000, $16,000 range, because in my opinion, that's a good range for Bitcoin. I remember back in December when it started to reach those $16,000, $17,000 price levels, we saw a little bit of stability there. We saw a little bit of market confidence, and then it really had that run up to 19.8, and then we saw that consolidation. So let's see if we got any questions. You guys got any questions? Maybe I can help a little bit. Somebody says we haven't gone to bed yet. That is awesome. Mike Nigent said volume. Yeah, there's lack of volume. That is true. However, I am confident that we're going to see an influx of volume. If you guys actually move back towards last year and you see what happened last year in March of 2017, there was very little volume throughout March, and then April is really when we saw that run up, and Bitcoin went from $220-ish, and then it started to soar. I'm sorry, not 220. I forgot what the price levels were at, but Bitcoin started to soar right around April, and then it soared all throughout that summer time frame. And R. Melvin said, is there a mastermind tonight? Yes, there is. There's going to be a Ruby Above mastermind tonight in the Ruby and Above chat on our Discord. For those of you that are on our Trade Signal subscriptions, if you guys are on the higher level, you guys are able to access these masterminds. And we also have a podcast version where we answer questions from the viewers and all of our audience. You know, we come in and we all get together and we have a good time. So somebody says, will Bitcoin hit 10,000 again? I am very, very confident that we're more than likely not going to go back to the $10,000 level, at least at this point with the trend that we're following right now. If something significant occurs, we start to see some sort of sell-off, then of course. Now understand this, I want you guys to know, as we start to see this run-up, we're more than likely going to see some form of sell-off throughout the run-up because people want to take their profits. People are still weary at some aspects of the market, but the traders that know what they're doing, the traders that understand the market are very confident. So in my opinion, we're not necessarily going to see the type of run-up we saw in December, but we're certainly going to see an upward trend, which is all that matters at this point, because that's where you can make your money, especially if you're a day trader, swing trader, or even a long-term investor. So Vidic says, when will altcoins go on a bull run? Everybody wants the altcoins to go on a bull run. Here's what happens with altcoins. Altcoins will follow Bitcoin once people have confidence in Bitcoin and they realize altcoins are undervalued. So it's almost like it acts as a tether. So Bitcoin goes, if altcoin is if the altcoins are staying stagnant, what ends up happening is out of nowhere, you'll see these altcoins just shoot. you see it shoot towards Bitcoin. So that's why I actually made a trade alert if you guys are getting our trade signals about Litecoin, and I'm very bullish on Litecoin over the next couple of weeks. I actually did put in a pretty large position in Litecoin. I obviously got my Bitcoin positions all locked in as well, but I am expecting Litecoin to also rally with Bitcoin in the next couple of weeks, and then we can expect a lot more altcoins to also start rallying. So here's something I want you guys to know. This is the time to start setting up your altcoin portfolios. Your altcoin portfolios need to be set in place right now and prepared for this next run-up. Now, let's say we start to see some sort of consolidation, no big deal. Set up your stop losses at this point fairly tight until we pass the $12,000 mark. Past 12,000, we're really going to be passing this overall resistance. I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about here. If we draw out this resistance, we're going to actually pull up the 6-hour chart so we can show you that resistance that we're looking to break here. But we've got a very strong resistance level right here at 12,000 US dollars. We're going to draw that out right over here. And this is going to be the next level to watch. Now, here's also what we're going to show you, the Fibonacci retracement, how we've broken past some Fibonacci retracement levels, which will most likely bring us to higher price levels over the next couple of days. So if we go ahead and pull up the Fibonacci retracement on the left-hand side of our graph, we're going to go to the third little tab here where it says pitchfork. We're not going to use the pitchfork because we're not the devil. We're going to click Fibonacci retracement. We're going to top this right here at the body of the candle all the way to the bottom of the last candle of the graph that we want to view. And we're going to zoom in here and we're going to look at the Fibonacci retracement. The first thing you want to do with the Fibonacci retracement is to have a confirmation that it is acting in accordance with the price levels that you are watching. So how do we confirm that? Well, you just look. Does it make sense? Yeah, it does. Look, 38.2, bam. We dropped down, found support right along that Fibonacci retracement. This right here, confirmation that this is correlating within the price levels. So you can see here, bam, found support again, resistance. And we saw a little bit of support right along that Fibonacci retracement until we dropped down, dropped all the way back down there, went up there, found a little bit of resistance. So showing that the Fibonacci retracement works. If you guys know what the Fibonacci retracement is, it's basically mathematics. Mathematics that determine human psychology, risk and reward patterns, and that's what determines what the Fibonacci retracement is in terms of how far and low, how up and down a price can go before seeing some sort of setback or pullback or push. So you can see here, we are now entering this next Fibonacci retracement soon, and that's going to be at the $12,000 mark. So we're going to go ahead and line this graph up a little bit with this line. You can see here, as we start to head towards these levels, there are going to be two specific levels to watch. It's going to be the Fibonacci retracement resistance as well as the $12,000 resistance level, which is right around $12,079. So here's the other Fibonacci retracement that we want to watch. It's another resistance that we're most likely going to see resistance at, which is 11,700. If we break through 11,700, we're going to be extremely bullish. This is what I mean by, do you hear him? Guys, hey, do you hear him? Yes, sir. Darren Cook, Amen B. Do you hear what I hear? What do you guys hear? Let's see if you guys know. Somebody says you're talking too fast for 3 a.m. Well, that's what happens when you're drinking guilt-free soda. This is guilt-free soda. If you guys want guilt-free soda, I'm going to do a free promotion here for this company, La Croix. And it is a Pomowas, I don't even know what this means, grapefruit, flavored sparkling water. And it literally has carbonated water and natural flavor. The natural flavor is like essence. It's almost like the eucalyptus oils that you put in a sauna or a steam room. It's like literally guilt-free soda. It's a little bit, it's bubbly like soda, but it also tastes fairly good, depending on what flavor you get. Grapefruit's really good. We're not talking about guilt-free soda tonight. Somebody says the Bulls. Yes, the Bulls are coming. XRP, XRP, XRP. Spam it up, boys. Jaden said spam it up, boys. What about the ladies? Guys, I listened to this awesome podcast. Highly recommend. I'm going to give a shout out to Unchained. It's an awesome podcast, and this lady is so good at getting some like crazy influencers on her podcast. And she just actually had another lady on her podcast talking about woman inequality within the blockchain universe. Highly recommend that for you ladies. I highly, highly agree with her. You have to have ethical value starting off, right? I actually had a mentor of mine teach me. He said, you know, Naeem, you can either start a company in two ways. You can start a company with values, or you can start a company focused on everything but values. And he says, if you start a company with everything but values, you're going to end up like Uber, where Travis got kicked out of his own company as a CEO because it wasn't established with the right values. Or if you establish a company with values, you end up like companies like Microsoft that have been prominent for years and years and years because Bill Gates led the company with values. If you read about Bill Gates and his, I mean, just look at what him and Melinda Gates are doing with their philanthropy. I mean, I said that wrong. They're given and given and given. Why? Because they have values within them. So anyways, let's go ahead and somebody says boring sometimes. Who's boring? BitGuyan. Get out of here, man. This ain't boring. Somebody says she's wrong, of course. No, she's not. There was a Miami blockchain conference, and then the after meeting was at a strip club. You're going to tell me that's not gender bias? Give me a break. There needs to be some sort of ethical, moral regulations within this industry. I mean, yeah, it's all fun and games until someone gets hurt, right? But anyways, let's focus in on what we're talking about here. Oh, so that lady actually got Vitalik Buterin on her podcast at one point, which was an awesome podcast. It was funny at the end. Vitalik was like this. She was like, so she always does this. She's like, so do you want to like give us, you know, a website or something to find you, or, you know, whatever. And like, she was expecting him to promote something. He's like, you can just Google my name. Just like that. And she's like, well, okay, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Vitalik. Have a nice day. And then she's, you know, did her sponsorship thing. Somebody says ICX will go to the moon, but I love that podcast. Shout out if that girl is watching. Somebody says people are bullish on VEN. What's going on there? Well, people are holding VEN because of the whole Thor thing, where, you know, you get rewarded. It's like proof of stake if you hold over 10,000. So that's its own thing. Somebody says, so what's all the noise about? I don't know what noise they're talking about. Here's what I'll tell you, Jerry. If you look at this chart here, there's going to be two resistance levels we want to watch here. It's going to be the $11,700 mark alongside with the $12,000 resistance level. We're most likely going to see a little bit of resistance here around 11,700. If you're trying to get a good position in Bitcoin, I would recommend around 11.3 to 11.6 at this point. Setting up those stop losses fairly tight. I would say start your stop losses at around 11,000, but your real stop losses should come right around 10,100, because that's really where we found some really strong support. So if we break past that, that would be significantly, you know, bad for Bitcoin. So let's pull up the XRP chart now that we've talked a little bit about Bitcoin, and take a look at what's happening with XRP. We're not going to ignore XRP, even though we may not be as bullish about it long term here on Sniper's Dude. That's just opinion. I'm not going to sit here and just trying to like dovey up something. I personally just don't feel like Ripple itself has the intrinsic value that it needs to rise in value. I'm not against it. I'm not spreading FUD. I'm nothing wrong with Ripple. I'm glad that they're centralizing their business philosophy and doing what they want to do with the banks. It's much needed. But at the end of the day, really, we're trying to get away from the banks, right? What's the point of this whole revolution if the banks are just going to be the ones to take advantage of it more than any of us? So I'm not against like Ripple, but I'm kind of just not so bullish on it. And not only that, if you look at the technical side of it, you know, you look at their max supply and you look at the actual intrinsic value of their coin, and in my opinion, it's fairly lack-worthy. And yet we actually had a Ripple developer on our Night Owl once. If you guys are getting our masterminds, you guys know these masterminds are crazy sometimes. We have some cool people that show up. Yesterday or 2 days ago, we had a guy come in, one of our longtime viewers, Claude. Shout out to Claude if you're watching this. He had a free airdrop for everybody in the mastermind. He gave us like all 100 tokens. It's the honest token. So those masterminds are fairly interesting. But we had a Ripple developer once for 3 days just talking about what he experienced in Ripple, working with Jed McCaleb, who was at the time the CEO of Ripple, who right now has transitioned to Brad Gardinghouse, who is also the ex-CEO of AOL. So Jed McCaleb went on and actually focused his work on Stellar, which is now his main focus. And it's almost like a inception of Bitcoin, Ripple, but instead of focusing on just banks, he's working with the people and as well as small businesses and big businesses like IBM. So I think that Jed McCaleb is a very strong leader. And one thing that this will help all of y'all, one thing you always want to know, and this is even true in the stock market, once you have a strong leader, you can pretty much rely on them for a lot of different things. Like Elon Musk, for example, the guy is just phenomenal. You know, he sells PayPal. I forgot how much, but pretty much his story goes, let's say he sold PayPal for $1 billion. He took that $1 billion, he split it up into 3. He started SpaceX, he started Tesla, and then he started the other company, the Solar City company, and literally put all his money back into other companies. And now all 3 of those companies are billion-dollar companies. One of the first individuals in the world to have multiple different billion-dollar companies, which is stout, but he is a leader. He is a visionary. And that's why it's the biggest focus, in my opinion, when looking at any sort of initial coin offering, initial crypto asset offering, or any sort of future project in terms of intrinsic value. Because if you have a good quarterback, you're going to get to the end zone. Whether it's a Hail Mary, whether it's a running play, whether it's a fake, whether it's a lateral, like whatever it is, the quarterback will get you there. Tom Brady's going to make that throw. He's going to get that Hail Mary in. He's going to make it happen in the fourth quarter if he has to, like he did at the Super Bowl. Not this last one. Somebody says, Naeem is my sister's father. That is really weird, Fatal Furry. I'm sorry. Joshua Stephen Ward said, Musk/Naeem 2020. Why Musk? Why me? Have Elon Musk be president. F Google said 300 likes and Naeem will show us his belly button. We're at 418 watching. I'll do it. You know what? I'll do it. I don't care. You know why? Because last time we said 500 and we had 460. We only got 100 likes. So I'm understating, and I doubt you guys. Like, I'm doubting all of you. All of you watching, I'm doubting you. I don't think you can get this 300. Look at it. Likes are going up. I don't care. It's not going to hit 300. I'll show my belly button. I just know it. Some of you are laying on your bed right now. You don't even want to click that like button. I don't care, because guess what? I don't have to show my belly button. Some people are lazy, and I'm going to prove it tonight. We got 428 viewers. We're not going to get 300 likes. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And if I'm wrong, I show my belly button. There you go. Look, 105. Whoa, I'm so scared. Whoa. You want me to be the Big Connect guy? Whoa. Whoa. No, it's not going to happen. Oh, it's a Ponzi. Somebody says, you are for 2028. I know what I'm dealing with here. I know what I'm dealing with. So somebody says, Naeem is rocking it again. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's pull up XRP BTC. You can see we actually called this last night. If you guys didn't realize that, we talked about this closing in. Do you guys remember? Yes or no? Do you remember yesterday I said in the live stream, I said, Ripple, do you guys remember? I said Ripple has not had a breakout in a while. Do you guys remember? I said it's going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and I said there's going to be another up. Do you guys, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you not remember that? Some of you remember that. So how did we predict that? I'm not boasting here. I'm just saying this. History is a predictor of the future. Whether people say that or not, history is a predictor of the future. The Dubai review said no. Why don't you click that little X button on the left-hand side, you liar? Stop lying. Because I got it on video, brother. Come on. And if you're from Dubai, then that's a disgrace to Islam. Don't lie. Be truthful to your brothers. Somebody says, yes, sir. Martin Rovnak. Thank you, Josh White. Thank you, Rick Agageo. She said, see, Naeem. Thank you, brother. Thank you, T1. Thank you, JC7. Thank you, Monoware. Thank you, Mr. Dips. Thank you, Great Days, for being truthful. Thank you, Noel F. Thank you, Wave. Thank you. Thank you. Look, 161 likes. Got him. Somebody says, Naeem taking names. Naeem in the house. Y'all are in the house tonight. So, how far is Ripple going to go? You can never determine magnitude, but what I'll tell you is this. I don't think we're going to see the run-up that we saw in December for Ripple, because people are a little bit more self-aware, hopefully. And it's just not going to get the type of news attention that it got previously. It's just, there's no need for it. It's not going to be a headline like it was in the past, because people like fresh news. People like fresh meat, right? So people don't want to have old news. People don't want to have old meat. They want fresh meat. So, you know, I think it's going to take another coin to really see that hype. But I guarantee you this. There are going to be coins every single quarter at minimum. They're going to have these huge run-ups to the point where it's going to be so obvious that they're running up that, like, you will literally just watch the coin like this, and it will be 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. And literally that will always happen. Why? Because it's in a speculation market. This is exactly what happened in the .com bubble. There was a company called, I think it was pets.com. It's actually right here in crypto assets. It talks about this. Oh, Laura Shin. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy? I literally just turned this. What? I just popped this book open. Laura Shin is actually the girl I was talking about with the podcast Unchained. Look at that. What the heck? She's in this book. I had no idea. Laura Shin. She said, since Bitcoin's creation, people have been wondering why it and other crypto assets have any value. Chris Bernski and Jack Tartar. give the most compelling case for why with sharp, detailed analysis. Who cares? Anyways, Laura Shin is her name, and her podcast is called Unchained. Shout out to Laura Shin. Awesome podcast. I give you so much props. If you hear this, I would love to be on your podcast. I'd love to interview on Snipers Tube. You are awesome. But anyways, so there was a really cool story here, and it talks about the .com bubble. There was a company, I believe it was like pets.com or something, or PetSmart, and they announced that they were going to have a website, and literally the next day their stock went up 1,000%. It was ridiculous. And you know, what's interesting about that is it's exactly what we're seeing right now in this market. People are in a speculation market. People are going to be speculating. So in that manner, what's going to happen is you're going to see all of these coins that are just going to see these drops. You put $10,000 in a coin that goes up 60%, that's $60,000, $70,000 in your pocket. So understand, there's a lot of opportunity here. Somebody in what is that? Twitch is just spamming that thing. Can you say her name again? I want to follow her on Twitter. Yes, Laura Shin, Laurashin. She is an extremely stout lady in the blockchain universe that is very good at interviewing amazing people, and I learn a lot. And I want you guys to have some of my resources, because this is where I learn. You know, she had Vitalik Buterin on her stream. She had Charlie Lee on her podcast, I believe Charlie Lee, but she has like all of these other regulators, lawyers. They talked about regulations, laws, stuff of that nature. Very good podcast. Another good podcast, well, no, that's actually the best one. There's a couple others. Ty Lopez's, he just kind of throws his ad in there every single time, and it's pretty, like, it used to be good, but now it's just been a little bit lackworthy in my opinion. Nothing against Ty. And then there's another one that I just didn't like. It's like another YouTuber that just like reposts his videos on there, and it wasn't that good. And like her podcast is like on point. Like compared to every podcast, hers is quality. And I highly recommend podcasts because you can listen to them on your way to work, on your break, whatever you want. We have our own podcast. We have our Ruby Plus Masterminds, which are cool because you have user interaction. So you get to hear like real raw data and real raw info, real raw news and stuff of that nature. Somebody says, dude, so how high you think the pump will go before the dump? David Gonzalez. I'm pretty sure it's going to go fairly high, but it's probably not going to go as high as it did in December for sure. But you can never determine the magnitude of things. That's just the truth of the nature. You can see it's just popping out of this, almost like popping out of this of this chart here. Obviously, you can see there's a huge breakout here. But what's interesting about it, you know, we called this breakout yesterday, and actually we called it twice. We called it yesterday and the day before. But at this point, you know, there really isn't much you can predict in terms of how far it's going to go. But if you put money in there, this will help you more. I'll teach you how to play a breakout, because when you play, so you can never predict how the magnitude will take you, but you can always play it in the right manner. So this is how I play breakouts. I like to set up stop losses right in these levels, because typically we're not going to retrace back to these levels unless we're going further down. So I like to look for a breakout, and I'd like to draw out levels of where we found resistance followed by another push. So you've got certain levels here that you're seeing, and this is really where I like to play my ball game. And I like to draw these out, and I call it ladder stepping your way into a breakout. So breakouts can make you profit, but the problem is it could also hinder your profits if you lose it. And what's interesting about any breakout, especially in this market, is you don't know how high they're going to go. You know, in the stock market, it's never going to be as exponential as it is right now in the crypto market. But at the same time, you have to understand that it's never easy to predict breakouts and magnitude of them, because you never know how much of the market sentiment is really going towards that certain asset class. So at this point, what I like to do is I like to create a ladder step here. And what I'll do at this case, whether I buy it anywhere between this point, I'll set up my stop losses right at this point, and then I'll set up my take profits above this point, obviously. And then typically I'll set that up equivalent to how much distance we saw within these graphs. If you guys don't know on trading, there's a ruler here. So you can actually look at this ruler here and use it and determine a little bit more of like how intense breakout is. If we actually open up this ruler here, I'll show you exactly how to utilize this. So if my mouse let me, so right here you can see this was about negative 5.52%. And then if we use that ruler again here, you can see here, this right here, right around 6%. So about 5%. So what I would do at this point is I would draw this out, and I would draw this probably like right around 4.8%, and I would put my take profit right up here. So that's how I play breakouts. So this is kind of like more technical details here. So let's take more questions. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Callum Parker said, straight from your stream to here, haha. Mike Divergence said, invest in yourself, join his Discord. We actually had another guest at our Discord yesterday. Discord's completely free. We just revamped it. You can actually get all of your Reddit news and all that just sent straight to your the Discord. So this is like an all-in-one. We have this voice chat area. This is how we do our masterminds. You can see we have over 100 people. This is 24/7. There's always people in this, and they're always calling out new trades and breakouts. I highly recommend getting in here. Some people just come in here just to listen in. They'll come in, they'll mute their mic like I have mine.
Bullish Gartley is good. The reason I had said it was going to go down is because it had to complete the
Are you guys jumping back into XRP?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're just waiting to create.
It had to complete.
That's good.
What the hell?
Look at that. That's good stuff. They just answered the XRP questions. So highly recommend y'all get into that. You know, just sit in there. People just sit in there. I've heard stories of people literally getting in there and just listening to what people were saying and margin trading, shorting Bitcoin, and then making thousands and thousands of dollars just listening into what other people were doing. Because we actually have a margin trading voice room. Sometimes we have like some intense margin trading going on here. So highly recommend that. That's just one area. And then we also have analysts. We actually just added a couple new analysts here. So if you actually go here, sometimes you can request charts, and these analysts will just go out and do them for you. Like you can see this analyst, Marcus, awesome guy. He made our video today. Shout out to Marcus Coster. You're awesome, man. We love you here on Snipers too. You guys love Marcus? Say yes. Josiah fam, Joshua, Gonzalo, David, Rubrier. Say yes, because people literally request stuff, and he'll make a video of it. So highly recommend that. Look at that. He's getting some Elliott waves. So somebody says, when your mom does, Joshua. David Gonzalez. Hopefully I didn't offend Joshua there. Man, stop. Relax. Guys, come on. We're all friends here. Josh said yes. Somebody says Amazon coin. Not gonna lie, I made some when we called out DGD. That is awesome, Tyler. Good for you, brother. Gabriel said yes. Awesome, Gabriel. Good to have you on the stream, brother. I saw you on the chat earlier. Jim Royal just joined on Twitter. We got a guy on Twitch just killing it with the yeah. It's like Usher. Yeah. Janu Veneri. That's a Russian name, isn't it? Probably not. Somebody said no. Zach Crocker. Oh, that's not good. Amazon coin. TDP said, Naeem, you are right. Most people are lazy. You called them lazy, and they're only 184 likes. Won't even smash the like button to prove you wrong. Yeah, man. Listen, I know what I'm talking about here. I know the game. So he says, what you drinking on? LaCroix. It's a guilt-free soda. It is carbonated water with water essence, or oil. It's like essence oil. It's so good. It's just amazing. It's grapefruit. And you can drink as much of this as you want. You're pretty safe. But your pee would kind of hurt if you drink a lot of this because it's carbonated. So I highly recommend using some sort of pure water. I made that mistake. All right, let's transition. Bebak Baban says, what do you think about Neo? Let's go ahead and pull up Neo. That we've talked about XRP and BTC. We'll pull up Neo here. Neo's consolidating. Here's a lesson that won't just apply to Neo, but apply to all technical analysis. And this is going to help each and every one of y'all. Somebody, Joe T, just said, every time I hear pump and dump, it reminds me of my friend's girl calling him a one-pump chump. LMA. I did not read that on purpose. Come on, Joe. Keep it PG-13, man. I guess it's after hours tonight. Somebody says, can you cover Ncash by the hype? Ncash is the coin that I was talking about earlier that there's always one coin every quarter that sees crazy hype. Ncash is this quarter's hype. So that's why I'm not getting so much into it, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, we want to talk about things that could help in a universal perspective, not necessarily just a one-man army perspective. So let's go ahead and see here what's going on. How to join Discord group. There is actually a link in the video that's playing to the left side of me, and it's constantly going there. I don't know if you see that. You know, right here, it says Discord. You see discord.gg/S7. that's where you get the Discord. And then somebody said ICX, please, thanks, Travis. We're gonna do Neo first. Somebody says, finally watching this live. Welcome, Zoe. Good to have you. Good to have you. And you're fine. You didn't do anything wrong, Joe. So looking at Neo, this is doing something that we see quite often. This is actually how we predicted the Ripple breakout yesterday, and it's pretty much simple. You typically will see these consolidations when we have, you know, some sort of market sentiment or negative market sentiment. So you can see, obviously, we saw consolidation, saw a little bit of a pop here. Now we're seeing more consolidation. So the question is, where are the support levels? Now, in any sort of consolidation, in order to predict when it's going to bottom out and see a reversal, you want to look for an influx of volume, because volume is going to indicate that people are realizing that this is oversold and now money is coming back into that asset class, which is also going to create positive market sentiment, which will drive the price up. So you're looking for a spike in volume anytime you see consolidation, because that spike in volume will indicate that there's going to be a potential breakout, and that's going to continue to move. And you can actually see that here with XRP, and it's exactly what happened. You can see with XRP, we had this initial spike in volume. This right here would have been the indicator to me that we're going to see this run up, and you could have bought at these levels and then profited from 86,000 Satoshis all the way up to where we're at now at 92,486 Satoshis. So actually over almost 95,000 Satoshis. So that's a big universal lesson that each and every one of y'all can apply today. Somebody says, Naeem, are there podcasts for a fellow Jew since you're a Jew? I don't get it. What do you mean? Are there a podcast for a fellow Jew? I am not a Jew because I don't got my Jew hat on, but maybe I'll have to put one on. Somebody says, online group 420 trade on Binance. It hits 200 likes on YouTube. So he says, chart has already broke the limit right now. Currently, I have no idea how high this will go by this news and tomorrow. Rob Beer says, Naeem is killing him with that SHIT. Josh White, VEN breaking downward channel on the 1 hour. Let's pull up VEN. Let's do a VEN. VEN. Oh, we got a little bit of initial pop here. Not enough volume. So here's a fake pop, in my opinion. You can see this was a fake one too. Let me show you. This is going to help some of y'all too. So there's also fake pops, and it's because you'll see the price levels pop, but that's a bull trap. So you can see here, we had this pop. This could have told someone, oh, well, prices are going to go up. Prices are going to go up. Well, guess what? Where's the volume to back that up? Even right now, you see a pop. Where's the volume? Not enough volume. You want to see the volume so you know that's going to be a continuing pop, not just a bull trap. Somebody said, I meant shirt. Gabriel M. Leon said, Naeem is quick on them haters. Listen, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing anything significant. I highly implore y'all to get haters. That's why people hate the whales in the market, because they're the ones making the money. But guess what? They're the ones having a good time. So we got a super chat. I do want to address that. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. And the super chat question, it looks like I don't have that in front of me, so I will have to pull that up in just a second. But I did see that earlier, so thank you for that. I did not ignore that. Somebody says VEN going lower. I believe so. I think we're going to see a little bit lower levels because we did break some key support levels here. Really, the key support that I was watching for VEN was right around 44,297 Satoshis. And now the next support line is going to be right around, it looks to be 330, what is that? 35,977 Satoshis. So, I'm sorry. So this one right here was not 400. This is 45,486. So this is really the next major support line here for VEN. So we'll go ahead and actually look at this in a little bit more depth by deleting these little pieces of chicken scratch. And I'll show you guys exactly what I'm expecting for VEN. I don't think there's going to be enough volume here to drive this price up. I think there's going to be a lot more money going towards Bitcoin or some of the major altcoins. And I think that's why we're seeing a little bit of a price action moving upwards as it goes towards that support level. However, I don't know if this is going to hold itself. So at this point, I would be watching this channel. If you do want to put in a position, this could be, I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, if you want to be more safe than sorry, then feel free to put your position in anywhere between this channel and then set up your stop losses right under these support levels, because this is a safe trade here. sometimes when you're at these lower lows, it's pretty safe to put in a position because you can set up these stop losses right under, keep them tight, and then you'll know whether or not this price is going to start heading lower, because if it does break this support level, then really the next level of support would really be right all the way down here. So hopefully we don't see prices go down to this level, but 27,000 Satoshis would really be the next level of support. You can see where we found previous support here. Now, if we also drop the Fibonacci retracement, we can probably get a better view of what's happening here, especially being the fact that we are heading towards levels of previous support, so we can get a little bit of a clearer perspective of what's happening. We'll actually draw this out. Let's draw it out all the way down here. We'll do the whole chart just to get a little bit of a better view. And we'll actually remove a couple of these indicators here. Let me zoom into the 1-day chart since we're doing that high of a count. So we're going all the way back to that level. We'll do it a little bit on a more steeper perspective here. So you can see here, that's why we're finding supports, because it's that Fibonacci retracement as well. So you can see how accurate these retracements are. Right there, we're finding that support. Now, if it breaks this, which it kind of did, we're most likely going to start seeing further downside back down to these levels, which, like I said, was right around 30,000 Satoshis. So I don't see too much upside for VEN. You can see even with this MACD level, we are heading towards negative divergence right now. You see this histogram is showing that there are quite a bit of sellers. So I think there's going to be a little bit more sellers here before we start seeing further upside here for VEN. So that is the truth, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? Somebody said, I love you, Naeem. Simply amazing. Thank you, brother. Will there be trade alerts on the new website or still only for the Patreons? Adam Doyle. No, that's going to stay on the Patreon because we're not doing that. That's not really what the first phase of the website is going to be for. The first phase of the website is going to just really be to provide as much resources for y'all to become better at predicting possible breakouts or reversals, so you guys can get better at trading and make more profits. Because my mentor always taught me this: you can always teach somebody, you can teach somebody or show somebody how to. I'm sorry, I just totally murdered that. You can feed somebody fish, but if you teach them how to fish, they can fish forever, right? So in that manner, you have to understand that, like, I'd rather teach and empower y'all to become traders that are more in tune and in line with the philosophy and the actual knowledge of trading, rather than just always doing it for you. But the reason we have the trade alerts is for those of you that, have kids, that have jobs, that need it. So somebody says, Nano is overbought. Paul Baxter just joined. Fahim on Twitter said, do you expect any bull run for Waves and Strat? Why don't we pull up Waves and see what's going on here with the Waves? So we'll do Waves BTC, and we'll take more requests. Any other requests, guys? What are y'all saying? Let's see. Christopher McDonough said, Naeem, are there other podcasts for a fellow Heeb, since you're a Jahib? A Jahib. Christopher is insane. I don't know what he's saying. He's like trying to mess. Great Days says, could we do live trade all together with you? Yeah, that would be fun. I was thinking about doing that. We can do like live trading sessions. Get on Bittrex and just pop them trades in. I've been doing more swing trading lately, though. So swing trading and just kind of putting in strong positions so I can hold throughout this next run-up that we're expecting. Somebody says ADA. Mike Wiley said BNB. Jeffrey Kemp, Great Days, said yes. Humanity said LCC. Esser said ARC. Status said Nano. Shout out to Blue Sky. Donnie Bob says, give someone fish they eat for a day. Teach someone fish they eat for a lifetime. That's it right there. Sorry, it's not going through my mind exactly what it was. Now, you predicted XVG to hit 480. Nailed it. So what's next with XVG? Thank you, brother. Yes, we have been fairly good with our predictions. Even our trade alerts, if you see here, EXP, we predicted this one right on the dot. Look at this. We actually had the buy zone set at 301 to 303. And then we had the take profit at 370, and we popped right into that. If you look at this, this was on Poloniex. But this was actually a pretty legit trade here because it was so fast how it actually all occurred. But if you pull up the actual trade alert and see how it looks, you can see when we posted that trade alert, it went all the way up to 36,000. So it was interesting. And then BTC is starting to head to that top area. Somebody says ADA and BNB. Krunick says Tron March 31st. PGN says, loving the live. Thank you, brother. Joti, when you swing trade, Naeem, how much do you have on the line? Good question, Joti. So typically with my swing trading, I never put, number one, I never go all in. You never want to go all in. You want to keep cash on the side. Always have cash and fiat on the side. It's like the real estate market, right? If the real estate market crashes, who are the ones that are going to make the most money? The ones that are buying, right? You always make money when you buy. You don't make money when you sell. So your goal is to always buy at the right time. So when I'm swing trading, I am always allocating a specific amount of assets based upon what asset class I'm swing trading. So for example, if I'm swing trading Bitcoin, I like to dollar cost average positions into it. And those positions I typically hold for long. When I'm swing trading, I like to take a certain amount of money and I'd like to tell myself, well, if I have this amount of money, how much do I want this to become once I finish my swing trading session? So my swing trading session will consist of me taking that money and then splitting it up into multiple different trades. Why? Because some trades are going to work out and some won't. People have to get used to the market. I saw one. So one of our trade alerts didn't go through, right? One of our trade alerts hit the buy zone and hit the stop loss zone. Straight up. I'm not going to sit here and say every single trade alert works. So far, most of them are either still in the buy zone. A lot of them have broken out, and a few of them have hit the stop loss zone. So you're always going to have negative trades. That's where the mindset and the philosophy of it takes money to make money comes into play. It takes money to make money. Now, here's the thing. If you go and you look at our trade alerts, the testimonials, we have tons of them. I just put my favorites. You can see like this one right here, 16.3% successful trade from Naeem's trade alerts. Well, 16.3% is really good. Guess what? If you were allocating your assets properly, and let's say you had a stop loss hit and you lost 4%, and maybe you had another one hit, let's say you lost 2% and you lost 6% total, that 16% would have made up for that and then also benefited you with 10%. So understand that it's all about, it's give and take, give and take. Now, the better you are at analyzing, the better you are at predicting, then that's when you can start getting your ratios a little bit better. And then it becomes like golf. The best golfers are separated by a minute perspective. So maybe Tiger Woods is 71.2 and then, you know, Roar, whatever his name is 71.3. That's how the best of the best are separated. It's in any profession, once you get really, really good. My mentor taught me this actually. He said, Naeem, sometimes it will take you 1 year to learn 90% of your craft and then 10 years to learn the last 10%. And that was something that stuck with me forever. And I'm always going to remember that with anything that I do. I can always get better at trading because that last 10%, by the way, is the 10% that will make you great. Make America great again. I'm just kidding. There was a comedian that said, give Trump a break, and he got booed on live TV the other day. I don't know why I just said that, but Adam Doyle says, would you still recommend diversifying your trades across multiple coins if you had a small portfolio? Good question, Adam Doyle. If I had $1,000 to invest, what would I do with it, right? That's a good question. Here's what I would do. Could you ask me that? Ask me that. Say, Naeem, if you had $1,000 to invest, what would you do with it? And then I'll answer it. Somebody says, if you had $1,000 to invest, what would you do with it? Great question. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ramses says ETN is taking off today. Really? I got a huge holding in ETN. That's one of my favorite ICOs that have actually posted. So let's wait. What is ETN at today? I'm excited for that. Look at that. Ooh, 2.28%. That's not crazy amounts. Oh wow. I thought you meant like it mooned. So let's see. Somebody says, what would you do if you had $1,000 to trade? So if I had $1,000 to trade, I would most likely diversify. Let's say I'm just like value investing. I would diversify 25% in Bitcoin, 25% in Ethereum, and then I would take the next 10%, put that in the top 10. You pick a coin of your choice, Cardano, Neo, whatever it is. Take another 10%, choose a coin in the top 20, and then take 5%, choose a coin in the top 30, take another 5%, choose a coin in the top 40, and then take the next 5%, choose a coin in the top 50, and then you kind of get the point. And then at that point, you'll have a fairly even diversified portfolio with anchors within the coins with the most strength and the most volume. So that will give you a diversified portfolio, which is the key to risk management, and that's called asset allocation. It's one of the key factors in trading. You have to allocate your assets properly. Somebody says, great idea. Thank you. Somebody says, Power Ledger is so Undervalued. You on Steam It, bro? Yes, I am. At Snipers Tube. We just posted today on Steam It. Thank you, brother. Somebody says Snipers Tube on Steam It would be massively profitable. Bob D in the house. Good to have you. Somebody says, thoughts on Telcoin. Legend. Thanks, buddy. No problem, Adam. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Are you drinking vodka? No, Matthew. This is called guilt-free soda. It's La Croix. It's carbonated water with some other stuff. It's water. I'm drinking water. Somebody says, great idea. 1,000 to invest. Where to? That's what I would do. You're really smart. Hi, I'm Tyler. Thank you for answering that question, or asking that question. Somebody said, make Ethereum great again. That is hilarious. What's your Steam link? Sniper, it's snipers. So steamit.com/snipers. Our YouTube is youtube.com/snipers, which is cool. It's in the description. You can just go to the description of the YouTube video. Kilo says, do you still play Call of Duty or a game still? I actually don't, unfortunately. I've just found more pleasure in trading and looking at charts and actually making money that I could spend and give to my mother. I love giving family money. I was flying into where my parents live, and they're trying to remodel their house and stuff, and I'm like, this is awesome. I went on my computer, made a couple trades. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give you whatever I make here, and I gave her all the profits. It wasn't much. I think I made like, it was like $600-700. It was just a couple hours. Somebody says, Name, do you have you thought about making the Snipers Index found crypto? The Snipers Index found crypto. I don't know what you're talking about, Andrea, but send me a Twitter message and elaborate on that. Seems like a good idea. I love getting ideas from people. Emex said, good guy, Naeem. Thank you. I wasn't trying to depict myself as a good guy, but that Discord link is not working. That is interesting, Killer5. Maybe one of our mods can post the Discord link. If that would be awesome. That would be great. If one of the mods could get that handled. So it says, when could we do live trade all together with you? Let's get some likes on YouTube, guys. What I would do, though, I typically do the live trading, on more closed occasions, like within the Discord, because I don't like to just be live, and I want to provide content. I don't want to sit there with my earphones on, because I'm very focused when I trade. So I like to do it in a closed environment on our Discord. I do it a lot with our Diamond patrons. I do it sometimes with Emeralds that request it. So stuff of that nature. And sometimes we'll do Emerald like masterminds where there's a couple people and we'll trade all together. And I'll just like call out trades and they'll kind of copy with me, on their own risk. No financial advice, obviously, but I like to keep that more of a small, tight-knit group. It just ends up working better. Somebody says, upvote incoming on Steam It. Thank you, Mike. Index fund. I've thought about something like that. I actually had an individual come up to me about something like that recently, and I want to provide more for y'all. It's not about making money for me, and I just saw that as an opportunity to make money. I want to make an impact. I know you can make a lot of people a lot of money if you let them invest in your mutual fund or something, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to be the one trading my mutual fund. If I had a mutual fund, I mean, I'd have traders that would trade for us, so anybody could just go into any mutual fund, and it's just not the type of impact I want to make. I want to make an impact on the front end. I want to help y'all on the front end, and it's not necessarily about the money. Here's the thing: trading changed my life. Trading showed me that I am able to make money on my own terms. Like, money to me is something that I can get whenever I want it, if that makes any sense, because I know how to make it in the market. Like, once you develop a skill, you develop it forever. Something my mentor taught me very early on. It's the name. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you never have to learn it again. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. Because I remember my first time riding a bike, I fell off my bike multiple times, and I injured my knee and I hurt myself, but I finally got myself to start riding a bike. You guys remember riding a bike without those trainer wheels and how long or how much that took from you? It's the same thing in trading. Once you learn how to trade, you don't ever have to learn how to trade again. It just becomes inside of you. It's an intuitive feeling, and part of trading is minimizing losses properly. So it's never really a risk for me. Even though this market's risky, it's risky for those that don't know how to play it. For those that know how to play markets, how risky could it be? You know how to play it. So there's just no real quote unquote risk to it if you set up your entry and exit points properly. Michael Jones says, what do you think about trading Forex? That's what I did for Forex. I traded traditional markets for a very long time. What I'll tell you is it's not as volatile as this market. There's way more money to be made in this market. So thank you for the super chat, Peter and Killer5. I really appreciate it. Somebody said, I would love you even more if you look at POE. Let's do POE really quick. We didn't even do waves, but looking at waves, we'll do a quick analysis here. So pretty much with waves, what's interesting here is it's kind of looking exactly like how Ripple looked for a little bit, where it saw this little descending triangle forming here. Well, actually, this is a condescending wedge, a contracting falling wedge. If you guys don't know how to contracting falling wedge is, just go on our Discord. Let's go to the trading patterns under the tools. You guys can actually pull up the contracting wedge here. And do we have the contracting wedge on our... I might not have this. We have a falling wedge, which is also... this is pretty much the same thing, because this doesn't show the lines, the resistance and support converging together, but obviously since they're tilted, they obviously end up converging. So this is the same exact thing. It's just cut off like right here. But this is called the apex. The end of this is the apex. And as you get closer to the apex, there's more of a chance of a breakout, because that apex allows it to be tightened, and it's almost like a pressure cooker. The more pressure, the more potential of that breaking out to new highs. So it's exactly what we're seeing here. We're getting closer to that apex. As we approach it, we're most likely going to see some sort of positive feedback. You can see we popped up all the way to that level at one point, but we didn't go ahead and break through it. In my opinion, you can see MACD under there, negative. It looks like sellers are getting worn out. Here's something that will help y'all. If you look at the MACD, this stands for the moving average convergence divergence. You can tell how strung up these sellers are based upon these histograms. You can see how this one is pretty steep, this one is a lot less, and this one was actually positive, which means there was more buyers at one point. And then I can see the sellers have been drained out. The more the sellers have been drained out, sellers are limited, right? They're finite. There's not unlimited sellers. So once there's less and less sellers, that's when you'll start seeing more buy volume come into the market. So what I would wait for at this point is just wait for another spike of volume. Wait for a spike of volume for waves and then see where it heads from there. And let's pull up POE BTC really quick and see what's going on here. Exact same scenario. I don't even have to redo. Look at that. Same exact scenario. Contracting falling wedge, which makes sense because of the market from January all the way up until March. So you can see how we're contracting, and then once you contract, you can see that volume hasn't shown any sort of significant pull. You can see with that contracting wedge, when you zoom in there, it's just getting closer and closer to that apex. Sell volume here a lot lower. You can see there's very little seller action going on, and in my opinion, RSI is fairly oversold. Let's pull up RSI on a 1 day. RSI, bam, hit bottom. So I think Poe is going to have a potential push up fairly soon. I think all we need to wait for is some more volume, but I definitely think, bam, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. I think we're going to see another pop right there sometime soon. That's on video, on recording. So now we can call it a prediction if it happens, just like we did with Ripple. And with that being said, y'all, we're going to be heading over to our Ruby and Above Mastermind in just a second. Are you guys enjoying our live streams? Do you guys enjoy these? Do you guys learn? Does this help out? Yes or no? Somebody says 300 likes for belly button, guys. Love from India. Thank you, Killer5. Appreciate that, brother. Somebody says 10x BitMEX. What are you, margin trading there? Somebody says, Naim, can you move the YouTube chat window so that it doesn't block the MACD chart? Yeah, I should have done that earlier. Sorry about that. I would have done that if I saw that. Is there a night owl tonight? Yes, John. Ruby and Above night owl. Substratum or Nebulio? I was actually... Oh, I didn't get to do my trade signal for Nebulio. I think that's actually going to break out soon. Yes. NEBL. This is actually another potential breakout soon. Oh, dang it. It hit the buy level already, which was 14.3. Okay. Well, I'm going to do a trade signal on this soon. But yeah, I actually expect this to have a pop soon, because you can see these little pops in volume here. And to me, with the market sentiment becoming positive, it's a perfect time to get into a position for NEBL. But you can see here, volume, pull up the 1 day, we get right on that support line. So you can see we got a support within the RSI, and And then you can see the MACD is starting to curve. So we'll talk more about that in just a second. Somebody says, Mastermind, yes. Awesome. Everybody's enjoying it. I love it. Fahim Bhatti said, great tip. Thank you, Fahim. On Twitter. Periscope. Sinbad. Somebody said, DCat23 in the house. Stutz. Blue Sky here. Peninda Winter. Humanity. Look at that. Olaf Marcus. Mr. Montezi. I got some awesome people. Matthew Matkiviko. I like that. Volume, you say, Naeem. That's altcoin's problem because it's going into Bitcoin. Not good. Yeah, but that means that, remember, if Bitcoin is like this, Bitcoin is, let's say this is altcoin and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going up. Altcoins are staying. It's just a matter of time until altcoins push right there in front of Bitcoin. And they're almost tethered together. So when market sentiment is positive for Bitcoin, market sentiment becomes positive for altcoins. Laureen said, absolutely. Awesome. Do we got Samir here and his girlfriend? They're always on the stream. So, awesome. The Buck said yes. Ron said yes. Melvin said yes. Awesome. Potsna said yes. Jerome. Awesome. Great. Perfect. Love the shirt. Thank you, brother. YouTube Let's Stay the name. Thank you for another illuminating live stream, my man. No problem, brother. Thanks for featuring NEBL. No problem, Gothier. All right, y'all. So we're going to be heading over to our Ruby and Above Night Owl. If y'all are Rubies and you're not going to be there, we will be sending out that podcast like we do every single time. If you guys are on our Patreon, the link in the description below, patreon.com/snipers, Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, y'all, tonight. Hope this helped and added some sort of value to each and every one of y'all. The bulls are coming for Bitcoin.